Good evening. Tonight I will talk about a special grimoire called Asmodeus. It is a very beautiful grimoire. The cover the same. It represents the figure of Asmodeus, or one of his figures, to say, one can write a book and of course present it, but the interesting aspects are the author understanding of the book, or explaining that to others as well, so one can truly learn from a book or be able to gain some type of new knowledge. So Asmodeus too is very much about knowledge, about understanding the aspects of what makes humans humans. There is this connection between will and desire. Asmodeus is created from two parts. Asmodeus does carry, as the book describes, as his name, as he decides to call upon himself. Asmodeus, when he talks, he knows he talks about himself. So, which is a very beautiful quality. You will discover all the intricate and beautiful aspects of Asmodeus and what makes it so special, what makes him such a god. Because Asmodeus, as the name says, is a god. The doctrine speaks against to say there is only one God, creator of everything. That is the God we all know, God. But there are other gods as well. There is not only one God. Asmodeus is a god. So when one speaks from that altitude, we say, where is the real God, or who is the real God, or if there are many, there is more than one, who is the best, or what is the meaning of say, does it take away from the quality of God if there are more gods? No, I think it actually adds, it speaks more about who God truly is. You say, if we take one back, then let's take two fronts, two steps front. Say, everything is a trick of mind, and to not say that Asmodeus, him being a god, even changes who he is. Asmodeus, and say, the real God does not care if he is God. The real God does not pursue others to make him believe he is God. The true God does not speak in faith, he speaks in truth. A true God, so the qualities of God, if we enter in this thematic. But the element of God is not representing at the same time who Asmodeus truly is, and say, the element of his persona, the element of his, that's all that Asmodeus wants to say, that all what he is. There is no comparison. It is wrong to compare in some terms. Say, comparison can bring us to a logical find, or a logical understanding or answer that we are searching for, but say the real understanding does not take these steps, so it is false. Say, it is a quality of God, of course, that God entails and has here, so there is no question about that, so it should not be a thematic. So that's the message, But the focus of the book, as I said, is a grimoire. It speaks about Asmodeus. He is a character of my book, and this recording is part of a playlist where I speak about my grimoires or my book, but in this case specifically for Asmodeus. So Asmodeus does not care. Asmodeus is a fierce god, so he will show us through the book what type of god he is. Say, if one understands, it's like there are different keys of knowledge and this and that, and we can all go back left and right and front and back. That does not change the truth. And what is the truth? He stands very much for truth, and I want to say, in front of truth all are full, because truth is number one. Truth is the true voice of God. So you say, one has to understand that the truth is the real winner. The truth is the breadwinner. The truth is the one who brings back. It is a form of revelation, a form of truth. So you say, our understanding should not be limited by any other concept, besides the element of thinking or the element of understanding. And one can say many things, but what does it help if it doesn't understand. You'd say a lot of things happen that don't make sense, or a lot of things move in a certain way that, you say, well, the Asmodeus Grimoire is here to reveal some of these type of secrets. Say one can read a story simply to understand Asmodeus more, or to have a better understanding of who he is, because these are two distinguished things. And the voice of the grimoire, the voice of Asmodeus, is very strong. It is embedded in the book, in the words, in the ink, in that type of darkness, in that type of altitude as well. So the book moves through, or say, we can say in a metaphorical way, through high waters, or there's a specific movement, and it's like the power of Asmodeus. It keeps this, it gives that force, it gives that push, or that extra, to create something that it is possible through his powers as well. So there is this good giving. God is good giving, and the part where he represents himself, I think that's the most interesting part of the grimoire, where he talks, where he says what he wants to say. There is that knowledge, that form of knowledge, even if Asmodeus does not tell us much, but say, I can decipher, but I still don't know if it's the truth. There is like a liminal phase where Asmodeus is very far away, so there is a far distance from us to Asmodeus. There is a heaviness that comes with that as well, but at the same time, that is what makes Asmodeus. So there is a certain type of God. It's not a question which God is best, or which one has, which is true, and so on, which, as I said, is a wrong way of thinking, especially in theological terms. But it is, of course, for me helpful now to develop a story in that meaning of getting to the answer, through the understanding of something that even if it may seem far, So Asmodeus does want this this type of goodness, this type of element in the story as well, for a certain purpose and for a certain reason. So the book does carry a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of things that Asmodeus expressed in very poetic, very beautiful form. The book carries a lot of very strong poetic form. It's very, very beautiful. It's very sentimental as well, It is very bold, it's very strong, and the colors is like, yes, it is black, but it is a purple black. You see the metallized color, blue, very strong minerals, or with glitter from the stones. There is the element of earth very much embedded, but in such a way that it shines in this green, almost blackness. You can imagine a black, and then you have a green, which is just so silvery but so strong green, and it evolves in this element of life, of force, of it's like it's even higher than fire. It is like a crystallized form, very fine form, but very strong. So the elements of Asmodeus are more in this purple, blue, or green type of. It's very close to black, but it's not yet black, even if it is the black. So it's like the clay, that you touch, and it still lingers. It's still there, It stucks on you, or it goes into the little fibers, or the little understanding. So Asmodeus is quite interesting from that aspect as well, and the element of the black feather, or the element of the black birds, very connected. Birds are very connected to Asmodeus. It's almost like a bird type of being, in the meaning of the symbolic meaning of the animal. The beak, or the eyes. This is victorious. It speaks about victory. It speaks about the immense power of Asmodeus, of course, and his ability to sustain that. The beautiful colors, that almost come before the black, and it is in between, and say, well, is it total black? Should I go in total oblivion, total darkness, or I should, stay in the blue, more darker tones of that intensity? So it is a very intense book as well. Say, well, a real warrior book is intense. That's what it brings. That's the savior. That's the quality. It is intense, but in doses. No, say he, as I've said, he knows very well the balance between things, or the understandings how things, move from one part to another. So the element of the plane is very important. It's like things like a bird, no. And birds in general represent always shamanic powers. The birds, as did by the Indian, do have shamanic powers, no? It's a message from somewhere, or the birds give messages. There is this element of the of something expressing itself, or something wanting to give to back, no? There's the form of goodness. That's how I will describe goodness. And the name of Asmodeus, it's the Asmodeus. It is my own interpretation always, but it's created in 2 4s, no? So it's like 2 2, and then we have 4. We have Asmo, which is one word, and Deus, which is the second name, like 2 names in one. It speaks about the something about like brothers, in the meaning of Asmodeus, like I am here, like the fierce brother. It's like the interpretation of true love. The Asmo is the aspect of an angel, because Asmo it's like something on a higher plane, something on a higher note. Everything is on a higher taste. Everything is elevated in that higher. So there is the very open form Asma, no? So it's, or Asmo, in the masculine way. It's a very beautiful name. Asmo, no, it comes in a form, Deus, and then it gives, it reveals. It's something that is formed and released, Asmodeus. It's very melodic, it's very equal, very balanced, the name. And has a lot of S, no? Asmodeus, no? The form of S, the movement, the repeated movement, or the repeated patterns. He likes repeated patterns, no? As we see it in his name, it's almost like a building which has the names A, like a big sculpture. Then you have the S, a big sculpture, and then you have the D, a bigger sculpture, and then you have S, another sculpture. It appears, it suddenly appears. It's a very magical name as well, very magical power. Asmodeus, no? The one who goes and comes, the one who moves. Asmo, it comes from the idea of space, of the air, the asm, or even something that can be seen as origin, or something that has a start, Asmo. And a lot of knowledge is like to say, well, we don't know so much about Asmodeus, no? It's like a lot of understanding from the point of my literary work, or how I try to see him or interpret him, now the way I have done for my other grimoires. But Asmodeus is very focused on himself, so the focus will be always on Asmodeus. That's the key to, how to say, the unlock, because these names is almost like want to be Asmo, and there's something longer, or something that is prolongated, something that is that it goes on a higher note, no? So it is very much about the mind, and the element of thinking, the element of getting to the answer, or the element of understanding the meaning that it creates as well with the revelation of the answer. And so I cannot have a meaning if I don't have an answer. So the meaning moves into the answer as well. So Asmodeus can, let's say, almost like move from one place to another, no? Or change some type of form. There is this element of the form as well. And the book, which I invite you to read if you like the thematic of Asmodeus, or if you want to know more about him, or just for, I say, the little work as a book to read, no? The link is in the description below, and then you can find the book. It's written by me. I'm the author of the book, and I invite, of course, other readers to read my grimoire. It's a very beautiful book. Always, talking about the book is a little bit more meditative, because it has so many facets at the same time, no? So, of course, the book of Asmodeus, through his subject, does honor these different elements that he carries, and it is very interesting and helpful, as I have done for the playlist of King Payman as well. Now, the King Payman is another grimoire where I talk about King Payman and his knowledge, and say, well, there are different type of knowledge, and there are different understandings now that one can explain and can say, well, the talk or the author talk. Now, it is a beautiful meditation process of speaking, from a philosophical way, or of the understanding of the book from the position of the author. And so, well, the author has the feeling of the character, or has the understanding of the character, because the character itself carries those elements from within as well. So the writer evolves in the meaning of creating that book to bring revelation, or have different understanding for the pursuit of knowledge. Let's say, well, the book from the beginning speaks about knowledge. That's the main focus. And then the book of Asmodeus, of course, the name Asmodeus has or can have different type of meaning. There are these type of words that come from very old languages, or one can in a lexical form understand more about the origin or the point view of that name. So the name carries that essence in its name already, and it is, how to say, philosophical way to look at things, to say Asmodeus, what the name entails, what the name, what type of correlation I can find. It moves throughout the book as well, that are of importance, that are of quality. What is in this book interesting, or what does it make it different or special? So, well, Asmodeus, as I've said, it's not worried, the book, so to say, that they are all different facets and all different creations. My Grimoire of Asmodeus always goes on a topic of, say, well, the ink, the element of the writing process is already very interesting in the case of Asmodeus. So, well, Asmodeus is a writer as well. Now, Asmodeus has the gift of writing, the talent of writing. Almost I see something like a Greek, or something very proper, very well educated, or very interesting from the point of knowledge. But there is, with knowledge always comes a certain type of seriousness, the serious element of knowing something. Of course, it does say, well, the elements of knowledge bring something that has its own perfume or own wisdom. It is a difference in the quality of it, and that's the thematic of a grimoire is always the thematic of the other one. It speaks about something else, and it draws through that magnetic power, or through that magnetic pull. But the grimoire is in the same time a lyrical precision of something that it brings to the elements of choice or change. So the grimoires are books that work with fiction, work with the elements of understanding the element of fiction and the beauty that it brings. It is a very beautiful book that I definitely love, and I will record in other times different aspects of Asmodeus or different aspects from the book. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, bye.